and welcome back to StreamGood. In our previous lecture, we learned about how you can actually install IntelliJ IDE or IDEA in your Mac operating system. So in this lecture, we can actually learn how you can actually install IntelliJ IDE in the Windows operating system. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is, since I did not have the Windows PC, I'm actually going to use the VirtualBox, okay, which has the Windows machine here. So I'm actually going to go back to the VirtualBox here, and next thing I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to open this Microsoft Edge browser here, and I'm actually going to go to Google. And here, I'm going to type IntelliJ IDE download. Alright, so you can see here, I'm actually going to click the first link. You can see here, I have two types of IntelliJ IDE, alright, IDE. So first one is Ultimate, and the second one is Community. And you can also see that IntelliJ is pretty smart, that it knows that I'm in Windows virtual machine, so it's actually default selected the Windows here. So you can see here, the Windows installer file is actually .exe. So here I have Ultimate and Community. So now if you scroll down here, you're going to see the differences between those two versions, right? So first, Ultimate, it's a commercial license. That means you have to pay for the license. However, Community is the open source. That means it's free. And commercial supports Java, Kotlin, Groovy, Scala, Android, Maven, Git, detecting duplicates, Force, JavaScript, Java EE, String, JWT, and so on, all that stuff. Community Edition only supports Java, Android, Maven. Okay, however, since we're going to be using Java to actually automate the browser using Selenium, right? We do not need to need all this stuff. We're just going to use the Community Edition. So I'm just going to click download here, right? So it should actually download that file, and you can see here it says what do you want to do with it. So I'm actually going to save. You can see here it's actually downloading that IntelliJ IDEA exe file here. All right, so it seems like it's downloaded. So I'm actually going to open folder. You can see here I've actually installed IDEA IntelliJ. It's in the downloads folder. So I'm actually going to double click that. And you can see here it's going to say you want to allow this app to make changes to your device. And click yes. So it's going to see this pop up. So I'm going to click next. So it says which folder you want to install. So I'm just going to leave default. Click next. And here it says to create a shortcut, desktop shortcut. So since I do have 64-bit, I'm actually going to select that. All right, and see it says here what you want to save as in your start menu folder. So I'm just going to leave the default. So click install. So basically it's going to install all the files, all the jar files, and all the dependencies that you would need to actually run your IntelliJ IDEA. So let's give it up for a minute. All right, so it's going to take a while. So I'm going to pause this video and I'll be back. All right, as you can see here, it's almost done now. Okay, so here it says completing IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition setup. So it says click finish to close setup. So I'm not going to run right now, so I'm just going to click finish. So now if you go to actually desktop in here, you should see IntelliJ IDEA in here, the shortcut. So if you double click it, right, so you're going to see this nice pop up here. Import IntelliJ settings from this one and so on. I'm actually going to do not import settings. So here it says preview your options. So I'm going to click OK without actually checking that box. And you can see here I have this customized IntelliJ IDEA in here. So basically, you know, if you want the darker one, so you can use dark color here, or if you want the regular one, you can use IntelliJ. It's up to you. So I'm actually going to go next. So plugins, if you want Maven and all that stuff, I do not need it now, so I'm just going to click next. So featured plugins, I also do not need those now, so I'm just going to click start using IntelliJ. Alright, so you're going to see this nice window here. Basically, once you start IntelliJ, everything is good. You're going to see this screen. So basically here it says if you want to create a new project, import project, open, and so on. So let's say if I do create a new project, I do new program files. Java. Here I've got 1.8, 1.9, and so on. So let's say I want to use Java 1.8. So I can do that. Click OK. So you can see here I have Java 1.8, which is Java 8. So I'm going to click next. All right. So if you go previous, right, it says to create a command line app, create a project from template. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to click next here. Let's say I'm actually going to do Selenium Groove, finish. So basically here you're actually creating a new project, right? And this IntelliJ, I actually installed it, it did not have SDK actually connected to the IntelliJ IDEA. Alright, so you can see here, I'm actually opening this project in IntelliJ, so it's actually scanning files index. It might take a while, like, before you actually have all the files and project up and ready. So let's give it a couple of seconds here. Alright, so you can see here, I have this folder, so I'm actually going to click that, and you can see I have this SRC folder and this IML and IDEA. This is pretty much like IntelliJ stuff, so you do not have to worry about that. So this SRC folder, we can actually create some Java classes. So a couple of things that you need to know is actually if you go in files, so you have the settings. So if you click on that, so you're going to see this appearance. Okay, basically when I actually started this IntelliJ, I selected IntelliJ in here, right? But you have the option to use Dracula, which kind of gives you the black screen. And let's say if you want to actually increase the font, right, instead of using this override, you can actually go to this font here and actually increase the size. So normally I do that because it's very easier to see. I like it bigger font than smaller font. So do click apply, click Okay, that's one thing. The other thing again is the project structure in here. So if you want to know what SDK you're using, so you go project structure project, and you can see here I have using Java 8, and you can see here it's Java default 8 and all that stuff in here. Modules, if you click in here, you can see all the libraries, and if you click in the SDKs, you can see here I have Java 1.8, which has all those Java files which actually get installed on Java 8. So that's the other thing. And also the other thing you probably need to learn is if you want to build a project, you can do that here. If you want to, let's say, run your class file, you can do click run. And all the things I would say is if you want to do formatting, you can use this code and do format in here, right? And view, you can, if you want to do, disable toolbars, enable toolbars, you can use this viewing. So apart from that, okay, we're gonna actually, you want to save the project, you can do save all. And if you want to actually import project, you can also do import settings and so on. So that is pretty much in this lecture. We learned how you can actually install IntelliJ in Windows machine. So that's it for this lecture. In this lecture, we actually install IntelliJ in Windows machine. All right. I think we're ready to actually start learning Java. All right. So pretty excited, and I hope you guys are as well. I will see you guys in our next lecture.